Alright, ha! Sorry. Hello, greetings, and welcome everyone. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. My name is Harriet Citadel, avian alien sentinel VTuber, perpetrator of creative chaos, general maker of things, and suffering a little bit of scuff, but that's fine. It happens, it happens, it happens. Hello, welcome to Wednesday. I hope that everyone is doing well. I hope. And I also hope the chat is functional because, I have been dealing with a little bit of scuff this day for some obscure reason. So hopefully it'll be functional. Hopefully. We'll see. As the stream progresses, we'll see if things are actually doing what they say on the box. So yay! That's where we're at. Let's think for a brief moment here because the scuff kind of threw me a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine. Today we are going to be continuing work on Professor Callahan's stinger animation. We are very close to being done with it, and that's pretty cool. So the plan is that we are going to throw some shading on the face to account for how the hair falls, and then after that, if that does not take the entire day, then what we're going to do is we're going to move on to working on the last 9 unique frames that exist before we can call this thing done. And that is kind of wild. That's kind of wild. So that's going to be the game plan for this day. Sure. It's been a journey. It's been a journey of currently 49 hours, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We'll make it. Hopefully within our current record long work time requirement of 66 hours. But yeah, so let us dive right in. You may notice that I have tweaked something with my interface, or you might not. It will just look like a fairly quick fade now. I did do some tweaks to how I have my how I have my model move around on screen. So hopefully that will work out in the end. Is this ignorable? Yes, it is. Okay. Hide that for now, hide that for now. There we go. Awesome. So I just want to see if we are in fact functional on chat, because I am skeptical at this very moment. So let me just go in here and check, because I'm not seeing what I'm looking for. And it worked. Okay. I was not sure if chat was actually working or not, but I'm seeing that it is, so yay. Chat is in fact working. Yay. Okay. We're good, we're all good. Now I just need to make sure that I've got this on. Come on, open up, thank you. There we go. Oh, okay, yeah, it's been a Wednesday. It's been a Wednesday. I did some repair work, I did some tweaking. Patrol was interesting. Sleep was poor. But we are surviving. And we're doing what we can. Okay, so I think what we should probably do first is just to go to any one of these. I think I'm gonna go somewhere to number 46 because I can then do this. duplicate this layer because it's got all the parts that I need. Clear it. Blue line. Let's put those in our Gengar colors. Alright. And now what we do is and I just want to hide the hair for a second so that I can be sure, hide the hair and the expression for a second so that I can be sure that it does actually close. No, actually, hide expression. Hide the hair. And hide ink hair for a second because I'm being confused by what I'm seeing. I'm not liking it. Okay, so now if I switch this back to natural color, show the hair, show the expression, you should get that. Okay, which you can now clip. Copy. I should now from here be able to duplicate this back onto all of these. And that will already be a large chunk of the work done. Just by getting this one duplicated in place. Okay. Yes, I am 100% working backwards in the timeline right now. It's fine. Gotta keep you guys on your toes about how I'm going to do the thing. Because being systematic is not always straightforward. There is a system if anyone can figure out what it is. Yay! But it's fine. I am thinking that considering that we're pretty much guaranteed to be done with this week, that next week I want to try something a little bit different, considering that I haven't actually got commissions in the queue for after the character design thing, which still needs some last confirmations. So I'll sort of talk about that a little bit while we are here. So VOD Squad, if you hear this story a couple of times, courtesy of coming in late live and so on. I apologize in advance. But I'm thinking of trying out, I know I'm probably mispronouncing it, but Booper Chat. I'm thinking of trying that out next week. Set up an account today in anticipation of that. Because I feel like I want to try expand a couple of horizons a little bit as well. Though making stuff is still going to be my primary target on this channel, I do want to have a little bit of versatility in what I do, and I think in order to do that, one of the first things that I need to do is actually have conversations with people. And hence why, after some months of mulling it over, I have decided to give it a shot. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay, we're getting to the end of the section where this one is going to remain functional for copy pasting. I just saw something move and I wasn't sure if that was the hair or was just the shadow still being there or not. Okay. Almost have them all. And I do not need onion skin on. Okay, and here's where things start shifting. Here's where things start shifting, okay. And I'm gonna switch mask off. And hide the pink halo. Hide the halo. Okay. No, not hide. Just want to reduce the opacity on that. Okay, clear that. Now we're going to simplify all our control points. For a start. And I want to go connect line. Alright, control point. Undo. Switch corner here, switch corner here. Move. Delete. Almost got it. Like that. Switch that off. Switch the expression off. Now I'm going to just copy that in its current state before going fill, all of that. And switch that back on. Lapse the expression, show that again, show the hair again. Make you full opacity. Grab that there. Let me just repair this. Because those pixels will haunt me. Nearly there. Let's just repair that. And in here. Okay. More than that, not being pedantic. Okay, done. Oh, hello. Why is things not showing up where I can see it? Why are things showing up where I wasn't seeing it? Chat, why is it not moving here? No! Chat wasn't moving here, why? No! I'm suffering scuff. I'm suffering scuff. Gah! I'm suffering so much scuff today. Why is chat broken? It was working there, but it wasn't scrolling. It wasn't all scrolling. I'm so sorry. But, Jaden, hi. Scuff! It happens to us all. I'm so sorry. Hi. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I am trying to put some shadows on here for this animation, and then we are going to continue with the last few frames that need to happen on it. But hello Jaden, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Sorry. Brain is just slow this day. I'm doing a lot better now that I found out the chat now functionally works. Bleh. Speaking, bleh, difficult, bleh. Come on, Harriet, you do this for a living. It surely can't be that difficult. Anyway, I hope that your Wednesday has been treating you kindly. How goes? Oh man, oh man. I just saw this flicker of movement in the upper corner of my vision and I wasn't sure what it was because I was looking at chat and chat wasn't moving, and then it's like, oh, it's my on-screen chat that's moving, but I don't know why my streamerbot chat wasn't moving. It just turns out that I was scrolled up unnecessarily, which means that it wasn't showing me in real time. Whoops. That's expected. Oh man. Yeah. What is streaming if not scuff? Copious amounts of scuff. Won't you be famous already? Not yet, I don't think. I don't think I'm famous by any stretch of the imagination. I'm doing animation. That's sad. Eh. Well, we all gotta start somewhere, right? Right now, I am just happy to have people willing to pay me to draw for them. Because that is, in fact, what I do for a living. And now we hide that for a second. Like so. There we go. True, I'm just an animator. Ah! What kind of animation do you do? That's cool. Always fun meeting another animator out in the wild. Stuff? So, like, do you do effects? Do you do spine animation? Do you do frame by frame? Boots, thank you for putting my glasses on. Now maybe I'll be able to see for a little bit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've got to repair the hair here again as well. Because, ew. That one cut ugly, that one cut ugly. Gonna need to fix those. Yeah, seeing is very important. Yeah, seeing is kind of helpful. Seeing is kind of very helpful. How are you doing, Boots? How has Wednesday treated you? Thus far. I'm just gonna come back and quickly do the patches on these hair layers because I'm actually otherwise not gonna be able to focus. So, yeah, that color. Just patch up my edges. And that's a hydrate. So everyone, acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverage and take a sip. Pretty okay, I guess. Having some guests over for a couple of nights, I'm sort of anxious. Oh my, okay. I hope that the stay of your guests is uneventful in all of the best ways, and that your anxiety is not well-founded. You didn't take a sip? Well, my model can't take a sip. My model can't, but I did in fact have a thorough glug of my coffee, which is now very cold. No. Let's see. There's a piece up there that's still missing. Yeah. Okay, that. And that. And there we go. That should close up nicely. That should close up nicely. Cool. Now that won't bug me anymore. Undo. Close these up. Little gaps that got formed when I was removing the pink to the next layer down. Okay, that covers that. And what's happening here? Is this ignorable? I just need to check because something went zzzt. Okay. There we go, there we go, there we go. Clean that up. There. There we go. Lastly, over here. Okay. Now here we need to still paste. Let me just paste these layers in here. Perhaps the hands, I don't need those. And there we go. Yeah, Jaden, you do not need to announce when you come and go in here. You really don't need to announce when you come and go in here. We are usually very productivity focused on this stream. So the general vibe in the space is that we will kind of float in and out of stream as we're busy with our own things. So you don't need to force yourself to speak and say, yeah, I'm still here, or no, I'm not gonna ever roll call or call out people who are lurking at any point. So if anyone has ever pressured you about that, don't worry, this is not one of those places. I also strongly encourage you to just check the chat rules. Considering that you're new here, just so that you are aware of everything. And you will find those in the video description. Wait, this is 2 of the same. And that's 2 of the same, so one of those can go away. Alright. And then this one is unique. And like so. Actually, no, I don't need this one. I can just use this layer straight as is. Okay, animation inker brush. Like that. Alright, alright, alright. And here, I'm gonna clear it. There we go. Krahazik, hello, hello, welcome in. I hope all goes well. How are you doing? Ria is ready to attend the reanimating ritual ceremony today. I see. we are doing the last touches on these first couple of frames before I dive into the last 9. But hello, Calyx. Welcome in. Doing okay? Ah, awesome, awesome, awesome. That's always fantastic news. Calyx, how has Wednesday been treating you this day? With kindness, I hope. Yup. There we go. Nope. Up. There we go. And in here. Fill in the gaps. So one here. Okay. And like that, okay. And almost happy, almost. Lastly, just want to fix here. There we go. That's that one. Which means copy. And paste. Because those two, the hair layers are identical. Alright, now here. Let's repair the hair first. Because when I was cutting away the pink layers, there were damages. Unfortunately. It's these last little foxes in the vineyard that just take a little bit of time to fix, but are worth it in the end. There we go. I've been trying to catch up on sleep a little bit. This week has been a killer. Yeah. Funny thing about sleep is once you lose it, you can't truly get it back. Yep, that is so true. Keith Manta, hello Harry. Have you had your hot coffee yet, or will that be for later? The hot coffee is now cold coffee and it is almost gone. It is almost gone and that is sad. That is sad. That is the sad state of affairs in this day. But at least that coffee was had, so I can't complain too much. But how are you doing, Keith? I hope that Wednesday's been treating everyone kindly. Are there adults that function without coffee? I can't speak for the ones that don't drink coffee. I can function without coffee. Well, that's not pleasant. Like, coffee doesn't do anything to me chemically in terms of my new internal chemistry or anything, so it's not like I get any perks or anything out of it. But yeah, I just really like it. I wonder if they're using a substitute or just nothing at all. As someone who does not get any perks from coffee, aside from the taste factor, yeah, it's nothing but comfort. Like, any caffeinated drink, I think, will have the same absence of any effect. I had to try and use it. So, eh. I'm doing good, just woke up in Calyx. I'm one of the adults that functions without coffee. Okay, yeah. A species that does in fact exist. Gasp. I'm just gonna unclip that, hide the white base. Alright, show that. Hide that for a bit, hide those two. There we go. I fear if you are that deep into coffee, if you lay it off for a few months and then try it, you'll have one of the best experiences ever. I can function without coffee, but not without caffeine. Yeah. I have tried various caffeinated drinks, and I'm one of those that actually doesn't have them in high quantities. So, like, the last... what? At least 2 months I've been down to, what, 3 cups of coffee a day, pretty much maximum. So it's not the 6 or 10 or 20 monsters that people sometimes plow through. So, I've never gotten a buzz from caffeine, even when it was my first ever coffee. That was like, there was no buzz. So I'm just not one of those people who's chemically affected by it that way. I can't speak for any buzz ever. Okay, that's that. Next. Did I make a mistake just now? Yes, I did. I was not supposed to do this on this layer. I was supposed to work here. Something like this-ish. Rid of those. Come on. Line. No. There we go. There we go. My ADHD riddled brain can't focus without caffeine in my system, so since I'm off my meds. Oh no. Ooh. Ooh. Are you okay without your meds, Boots? As a non-coffee drinker, Ria, 3 cups a day does sound like a lot, to be honest. It's like 1 at breakfast, 1 at when I wake up from second sleep, and 1 after supper. it's really not that much. I get a headache if I'm off caffeine for 24 hours. Ooh, The first time I tried coffee was an ice cap, and it was on my 5th grade graduation. I didn't like it until I had thrown it away, never touched anything coffee again. Still eat coffee, Christopher. Huh. You know, I understand when you are still in school and you've got a palate that is not trained for various tastes, because unfortunately that is a thing that happens in society at the moment, is that kids' palates are not developed for a wide range of flavors. But it is a little bit sad. A can of energy drink is cheaper than buying ADHD meds on top of my other meds every month, and renewing this prescription is a whole hassle. You know what? That is fair. That is fair. As long as you're managing yourself in a way that is not going to hurt you in the long run, then I cannot fault you for it, so best of luck. Wrong color was selected when I did that. Grab that again. Close the gaps. Wait, no. Copy. Here. Clear. Paste. Okay, over here. Hide that, hide the expression, hide the hair. And grab that and fill. Copy. Paste all of those back in place. Make normal. Copy. Switch back here. Paste. Okay, check. 1, 2. Show. There we go. Alright, now we just need to go through the rearrangement of the lines with these ones, because these are all unique hair shapes. Okay, why is this one doing strange things? Okay, this one gets cleared. I've discovered coffee flavors that I'm not fond of. Coffee flavors? Coffee flavors? I can understand having specific beans or specific roasts that you don't necessarily like, or coffees from specific regions that you don't necessarily like. I don't necessarily know about there being different flavors, quote unquote, of coffee. Beyond that amount of processing. I can understand having coffee recipes that one doesn't like, but yes, that it's normal to have that sort of variation in your taste as well. Like, for example, I don't like my coffee sour, and some of them have this soury, tobacco-y aftertaste, and it's like, bleh. Wait, I don't like my coffee to taste like how cigarette smoke smells. Ugh. There be flavor syrups that you put in your coffee? Yeah. Yeah, but then it just makes it all sweet. And then it's not coffee. Then it's not coffee anymore. Like, you have to put super, super little in it for it to retain the coffee. I like my coffee sweet. Yeah, I'm one of those heathens who doesn't sweeten my coffee. I don't drink it black all the time. Like, most of the time I'll have milk in it, but I don't sweeten my coffee at all. Like, once in a blue moon I'll have a coffee that's got a little bit of condensed milk in the bottom, but eh. I only drink coffee when it's sweet and mostly milk. French vanilla coffee with French vanilla creamer is nice. Vanilla is a good aromatic, yes, but I don't know. Well, to everyone their own. To everyone their own. Okay, this one. Repair that. And there. And up here. That should close that up. There we go. I agree with you, Calyx. As a non-coffee drinker, when Harriet said she doesn't drink that much coffee, I was automatically thinking in ounces, not mugs. There's this banana flavored iced latte I love, as weird as it sounds. And enjoy it. You can have it all. I will pass. I will pass. You can have the banana flavored iced latte. I can't do banana at all, so you can have that one. More for you. More for you. Power to you. Boots. You can have that one. Oh! Tiny cat! You can't just do that. You can't just do that. Reverse cat just jumped up onto my desk right where I was about to put my hand to reach for my mouse. It gave me the fright of my life. It tastes like banana candies. You know what? Enjoy it. You can have it. But all of this beverage talk means that it is time for a hydrate, so everyone acquire your nearest safer consumption beverage and take a sip. I have now finished the ice-cold coffee that was not supposed to be ice-cold, so now I'm on water. What's everyone else having? What's the bet Boots is gonna say Pepsi? Coffee? Lighter fluid. Okay. Only because I said she was going to say Pepsi. Only because I said the Boots was going to say Pepsi. Citrina! Hello, hello. Personally, I think water. Ah, nice, nice, nice. Classic hydration. In full effect. Specifically, Holger's Black Silk with French vanilla creamer. That sounds super fancy. That sounds super, super fancy. I won't lie, most of the time when I'm having coffee, it's just straight up instant. Instant freeze-dried. Throw boiling water on it and go. Okay, so now we come in here and we start doing the corrections on these. Why do I feel like there was one here that was not supposed to be in a certain way? But it was. Okay. The tiny cat is staring at me to ask me to let him out the room, so 1 second. What are you working on today? I am just quickly doing some patching on the hair shadows, and then we're going to start work on the final unique frames on the stinger animation for Professor Callahan. So we are on the final stretch. It's at least a year old now? Ah, I see, I see. The banana-flavored candies used to actually exist as banana before the bananas went extinct? Yeah. Yeah, the famous extinction of the banana-flavor banana crop from disease. Okay. Tiny cat released back into the wild, where he can go terrorize someone else. Okay, now let's throw that on there and adjust. Oh no, this was right. Undo. Undo. This one was right. This one was right. This one is next. Bye bye, tiny cat. Enjoy the wild. I feel like the way I worded that sentence is weird, but you get the idea. Yeah. To think that there are entire generations who will never eat the banana that the banana flavor is based off of is wild. Wait, there's a banana that tastes like banana flavor? I'm shook. I had no idea. Yeah, no, that's what Keith was referring to, is that the species of banana that the banana flavor is based off of went extinct. I think it was in the 50s or 60s, somewhere around there. There was a disease amongst the crop and literally just wiped out the entire species of banana. So now we are left with the fake flavor as the only reminder that that kind of banana ever existed. Sad? Yeah. Okay, so that's that one. Next. Yeah. Delete a couple of these. Move. Oh, eye patch mode. Oh no, eye patch mode. Oh no. No! Eye patch mode! Yeah! Let me just throw on the IRL eye patch too. And go and switch those off, because otherwise that does not work. Ah, boy. what's your chat delay settings on? If that's okay to ask. It's on ultra low latency. It's on ultra low latency on YouTube, but because I'm going through streamer bot, so it needs to consolidate between Twitch and YouTube together. It does take a little bit of time to process. Also, FYI, when I'm in eye patch mode, I have to put on an eye patch IRL as well. So this is going to be interesting, placing these shadows with the eye patch on. This is going to be really interesting. Making sure that I'm on the right layer, because I can actually only half see what I'm doing. Because the eye that the eye patch is covering is my good eye. And the other one is my weak eye. I think I said delete control point. Did it? Yes, it did. Just needed to switch tool there for a second, and I'm basically going on muscle. I'm going entirely on muscle memory at the moment. I can half read chat now, which is even worse. Oh no, what have I done? Is that what they said? Yes, that is what it said. Okay. Yeah, so that's why the eye patch is also on a cooldown, and it's also why it's also on a timer. So it should time out after a couple of minutes, so we'll only be fighting for a short while. It's better for game streams, but it's not bad that I've got this on now as well. Maybe. It's just not compatible when I've got the glasses on, as you guys saw. I actually can't see what I'm doing. No. Where is my negative button? Where is my negative button? I think that looks like it. Yes, it is. Okay. My zoom out button. Rest the good eye. Rest the good eye. Yes. We'll do something similar, I think. I really can't actually see what I'm doing actively, so I should maybe not do anything permanent. I should not do anything permanent. Let's hit the save button if I can find it. That looks like it. Is that the save button? Yes. Okay, so it might bug my model a little bit as my computer uses all my resources to hit the save button. But yes, that is the story with the eye touch. Fun times, fun times. So I'm now waiting for a little blue bar to creep its way across the screen. Yay! I can't read. I just can't read. I've got a peek. I now know what the button does. Okay. Oh, I can half see the words and I can half make out the letters, but it's like there's this grey void right in the middle of my line of sight, so it's like I kind of have to look past my pupil and rely on my periphery to read. And it's very wild trying to read via your periphery. I now know what the button does and I shall touch it again. Oh joy. Good to know. Fun. Interesting? Yeah. Yeah. I am entirely relying on my peripheral vision right now. It's a little bit it's a little bit wild. Because the actual focus point of your eye is a very, very, very small thing. Thank you for the head pats. I can at least recognize that. Thank you, Satrina. Yeah. But yeah, the point of focus on someone's vision, or the focus point on your retina is actually really, really, really tiny. So the majority of your field of view is actually in your periphery. It's just that one little focus point where the high detail is captured, that my currently open eye, so starboard side eye, does not really capture that information. It's wild. Yeah, the fact that this eye is as weak as it is, and that when the left eye is open, it basically takes over all functionality. That combination is one of the reasons why I do not drive, because it means that I have no depth perception whatsoever. Like, literally all depth perception I have is either when something is dangerously close to my face, or when I am kind of calculating based off of a known visual perspective. So I need to know the size of a thing coming towards me very intimately, and I need to know how fast it is coming towards me very intimately, otherwise I am going to severely miscalculate any interactions with that object. So, ball sports are a no for me, by and large. Grey void in the center? That sounds like cataracts or something similar. No, it's not cataracts or anything like that. It's just that the optical nerve is untrained. The optical nerve is untrained, basically. Like, I go to an optometrist like once every year. Once every year, yeah. Just to make sure that everything's fine, and every time I've gone, they've told me that it's clear, and it's been that way ever since I was like 18 months old. When I got my first ever pair of glasses at 18 months old. When I was 2 brick and a ticky high. My right eye is my dominant eye too. So I take it you guys are going to shoot things left-handed. Nice. Yeah, no, it's wild. Optics is wild. I shoot with my right hand? Ah, I see. But I suppose it also depends on what you're shooting. If you're shooting a gun, it makes sense to do it right-handed. If you're shooting a bow, then maybe lefty. Because then you're aiming down the arrow shaft, not necessarily... No? No, you aim down your arm, not down the arrow shaft, yeah. Hold the bow with my left hand. Okay. My right side is my strong side. I see. Yeah. If you're doing archery regularly though, I do strongly recommend that you also, even though your aim might be a little bit off, try switching to shooting the other way around as well, just for muscle distribution purposes, because otherwise you can find yourself getting a warped spine from muscle distribution. So if you're a regular shooter with your archery stuff, try switch up which hand you're using so that you don't end up with severe pain in your later years. Okay, and that's eye patch off. I can be free! I am free! I can see again! I am free, I can see again. Okay, patch is off. Let's go. Let's keep on doing the work. Now that I'm not gonna break anything. By accident. Yippee! Like, I can imagine patchy mode being something incredibly hilarious if I'm ever playing some sort of combat game. And I'm in a boss fight or whatever, and then someone decides, okay, let's go patchy. Which is entirely possible if I ever decide to do that one day. Quote unquote me trying to find a game that I can actually play. But yeah, when it comes to art stuff, it makes things difficult. It's good it's not cataracts. I think some of them have a progression rate, but I might be wrong, so at least your sight won't go away from cataracts. I'd shoot with my right eye, not shoot. I see. Real question, was the eye patch ever used for pink eye? If so, I wouldn't use it. No. No. The eye patch is a relatively new thing. I've never had pink eye. I've never had pink eye. So I think I'm safe. Then good. Yeah, also it's one of those proper eye patches that's got a little bit of space between the eye and the material. So there's no direct contact. I got the eye patch at a pharmacy too, so I know if I need to replace it for whatever reason, I know where I can get a replacement that will be effective and appropriate. I don't do archery anymore, I only did it for a semester in school. Ah, I see. You had archery in school? What? I think where I am, people know better than to let kids loose with weapons in school. Okay. So that's that one sorted. Next. This should be the last one for the shadow repair. I've been meaning to get back into archery. Oh yeah. Like, I did a very, very brief introduction to archery thing. Oof, must have been 6 or 7 years ago now. I can't believe it's already been 6 or 7 years ago now. Which I really, really liked and I wanted to do it. Except it's literally on the opposite side of my city, town, thing, settlement. And I can't get there. I can't get there. So even though it's like the one thing I would love to do as a sport, there's no facility that can accommodate it. So I'm kind of stuck. Conjunctivitis is more, or pink eye is contagious, so even if it has laid dormant for a while, it can still affect you, so I need to make sure. My medical nerd is still showing. Let me put that in the dark corner over there. No, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. I have not been in contact with anyone who has had pink eye either, so for now, at the very least, I am safe from that. Backyard range. I am terrified that my neighbors are going to think that I'm shooting monkeys. Yeah, it's not exactly immediately viable. I used to want to get back into archery too, and I looked up places near me, but it was all just so confusing that I stopped looking. Yeah, the other thing when you're doing archery at a fixed establishment is that a lot of time it'll focus on your competitive stuff. So for hobbyist archers who just want to shoot and maybe get good at trick shots and stuff like that, it's not necessarily the right kind of shooting. In which case a backyard range is helpful if you are lucky enough to live somewhere where that sort of space is available. So I can't say anything about the kind of space that is available in my exterior, but all I can say is that there is wildlife that breaks into people's yards and houses and such, and folk who are facelessly hyper concerned with their safety because they are actually vermin at this stage. When you've got 3 troops of monkeys with 50 plus members each in a 10-kilometer square range, then that you have an infestation. But you're not allowed to really say that on the internet because people get angry at you. But yeah, I can't really do backyard shooting for that and other reasons. Yeah. Also, I don't own a bow, and that upsets me. I want one though. I'm lucky in that there is a range practically around the corner from me that's decent for shooting for fun. Oh, that's nice. Super glue is so scary and reacting with fabric because that stuff starts smoking. Whoa, what kind of fabric does super glue smoke? Good grief. But archery in school was for an after-school club? Ah, I see. I got me NA Knobscot Indian double bow. Huh. There's a Japanese archery range by me, but signing up is just what's confusing me, plus I don't have the equipment. Everything including paper because the Curie reaction generates heat. Okay. Still, for it to cause enough heat for it to smoke, I've never seen that. And I've used a lot of super glue before. Whoa. Maybe I'm just using a different kind of super glue. Wow. Crazy. Because not all super glues are made equally. None of the super glues I've used have ever generated smoke. Yeah. I can't say that that's something that I've ever seen either. Okay, so let me just scrub and check here. Okay. So now I'm just going to copy, steal the hair layer from here because why? There are broken patches on the rest of these and I do not like it. And that's a hydrate, so everyone acquire your nearest safe consumption beverages. And let's take a sip. The really fast curing ones do for me if it interacts with fiber. I should be using hot glue, but I'm too lazy for that. Oh my. Okay, wow. Boots, you never ever ever fail to give me another reason to be concerned. When things are being eventful in your immediate vicinity. Just a minute ago, I was curing the ends of satin ribbon in my bed with a lighter. You know what? I can't exactly say anything against that because my entire craft workstation that we use for our hand cam stream is actually the lower bunk of my bed. So I can't say anything against that. Just be careful. My lighter is basically almost a blowtorch anyway as well, so I understand. It's like it's not a blowtorch, it's like a... But it has got a distinct momentum that is a little bit more aggressive than a Zippo or equivalent. That face the professor has is my face right now. Just concern. Like, just what am I listening to? These crafty people are insane. Wow. Yes, we are slightly insane. Concern and worry. Yep. Yep. This is why whenever I am going through a process and I am checking myself, I always say I'm not completely insane yet. What? Because can't say that I'm not completely insane. I can't say that I'm devoid of insanity. But I also can't say that I'm completely off of my rocker to the nth degree either. So, Archery is one of those sports where the equipment can make a big difference. It is, it is. Because the type of the bow that you're using, the type of arrow you're using, the weight, the draw weight, the actual physical size relative to you, how far your targets are, the materials that your arrows are made with, the angles of the fletching on the arrow shaft. The shape of the part of the bow where you actually hold. All of those do have an impact. Draw weight of the bow, yep. I think that was one of the first things I said. Okay. So, if I am not mistaken, we should now have the entire first arc of movement. Oi, don't do the stupid, thank you. I was trying to scroll, not hide things. Okay. I will not go skiing or snow things because of possible injury. Let's say I'm an extremely cautious person. That is fair, that is fair. Snow is incredibly hazardous. And I think a lot of people don't always necessarily realize just how hazardous. If you are not someone who lives in proximity to it, or has not been sufficiently briefed in terms of how to observe hazards regarding it, which is just like the ocean. Treat it with respect. Learn the conditions. Learn how to tell when to stay away. And try to avoid doing the stupid. If possible. I love going downhill on skis super duper fast. But Boots, where you reside, snow is like the most normal thing. So that's like, yeah. I can understand you being a little bit more comfortable with it than the rest of us. Okay. I think these shadows are in place. Functionally, it looks good. I'm happy we can now move on to the last of the unique frames. Woohoo! That's one more thing that I can check off of my to-do list. Huzzah! Oh, little victory. First victory of the day, and we're only 2 hours into the stream. Actually, just under 2 hours into the stream. We've had the first victory. Woohoo! To-dos, forehead shadows, check. Lost! Stretch! Wahahaha! Now we get back into Ink and chaos! Hey. Yeah, you basically have to know ice sports to survive here in winter because the roads are always slippery. So... okay. The winters here are the same, but they still freaks me out. Well, healthy caution and complete paranoia are... tight relatives. I just need to be put in my safety bubble. Well, we all have similar things that we need to be cautious of out in the wild, so I understand. Now let me think here really quickly. How do I want to handle this? Straight frame, yes. It would help if I was on the actual line layer, yeah. Let me start with the big long lines. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Now I need to get rid of my jacket, IRL, because I am now going to be operating things which requires my arm to be in a position where it is going to have my sleeve press buttons on my keyboard again if I am not careful. So, now to freeze for a while. Why? Because I'm in Southern Hemisphere and therefore I am in winter. Okay, so jacket goes away. So that my arms can be free to maneuver as needed. Scarf on. So that I can retain whatever heat I possibly can. And blanket over it. Okay. Now, let's see. That's the issue. This is a... not a vector line. This is not a vector yet. Let me just do this. Copy. Delete. No. Copy. Paste. Undo. Undo. Copy. Paste. It would help if I had my fingers on the right keys on the keyboard. Yeah. Okay. Now I've got vector lines, yes. we just do cleanups to get this to make sense. Going on from one to the other. Delete, delete, move. Let's delete you guys because you're unnecessary. New control points. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now we place and delete the extras. Move. There we go. Delete extras. Onion skin off for a second. Switch corner. There we go. Move. There we are. Okay, next, let's get the next thing that's going to still be static here. That's going to be the belt. Eek. Complete extras. There we go. Onion skin off. Clothes sketch, I want to just verify. It's 15. What is Cyber talking about? Cyber? Oh, Cyber lives, Boots lives in a place where, it's really, really, really cold. Okay. Now let's look at next part of this. Nope. No, undo. Undo. Where is my shoulder? Like that. Okay. There we go. I would sometimes sleep with my windows open at night during winter, and my dad would wonder how I do it. At the time, I'd usually sleep without a blanket or just use very light blanket. Yeah, I do not understand how you do it either. Like, open windows overnight. Doesn't matter what season it is, no. I do that also. I also sleep under a ton of blankets and comforters. I sleep with my window open in the winter too, and now too, and it's not exactly unified. I'm surrounded. I'm surrounded. What? Clearly, you guys live in places where the only thing you need to keep out is cold. You don't have to worry about bugs, clearly. You don't have to worry about things bigger than bugs, clearly. No, I don't want the cold in. We have screens to keep bugs out. Huh. Okay. That's at least something. It's better than nothing. And most critters. Yeah. I was referring to the critters on 2 legs, but okay. The midnight shoppers. For winter, he'll call me a polar bear. For spring, it was Bumblebee. I don't know where the Bumblebee nickname came from though. Aww. It's cute though. Okay, next. Slowly but certainly we're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. Okay, okay. No. Finished my craft for the night. Made a practice felt plush charm. Ooh! Felt plush charm! Felt plush charm! Cool! Cool, 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 cool! Okay, that's a hydrate. So everyone, acquire your nearest safer consumption beverage and take a sip. I'm gonna sort of hit the save button while I'm at it. There we go. It turned out slightly cursed, but it'll live on my personal bag now, which is swiftly running out of places to hang in. Fun. I live on the second floor, so I don't have to worry about those midnight shoppers. All I have to worry about is the bugs, because I used to have a screen window as well, but it broken was taken out. I see. Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to say that being on a slightly higher elevation would be a deterrent for certain individuals, but it's less. I can't. But oh well. Anyway, let's divert away from that topic of conversation, shall we? It's a spiral. Am I blaming the positivity reminder on Albin and Claude a little bit here? A little bit. Because they're reminding very nicely with what's currently playing. Nope. So then it's 1 and then 3 on either side. Wait, undo. There we go. Let's grab that. Delete a couple of these, which are extras. Move. Wait. Fine. Okay, next we rotate that with the other way around. And I just want to show onion skin for a second. Now here, this is also gonna have a spike, yeah? Yeah. All right. Here we go. There we go. Hmm. I think I'll try another test charm that hopefully turns out less cursed. Hey, rooting for you. It'd be nice to add these to my product lineup. Yeah, it absolutely would. Plush charms are really, really cute. In general. Speaking of product lineup, it's been weighing on me to do comic things again. I know I've mentioned this before, but I want to do comic things again. And I'm trying to come up with what I can do for a little short story type thing. To comicify. Oh. Did I just split my lip again? Yes, I did. Why? Because I'm still dehydrated. Why? Because when you're cold, you dehydrate faster than when you're warm. Because you don't think of drinking when you are cold. So, I have a half an idea of what I'd like to do, maybe. And I'm gonna just run that thought process by one or two people. If it is maybe a good idea to do that, what I'm thinking first. Because I think it would maybe... Should I be talking about this on stream? I don't think I should be talking about this on stream. Yet. A comic essay. Hello, Sai! Good to see you. Yes, I am thinking comicking. I'm thinking comicking. Hold on. I'm just going to type something in a place so that I don't forget it. So that I don't forget to bring it up to the people that I'm going to talk about it. I want to be over here. Let me just write it down. A good idea? I think it might be. I've thought of doing comics, but not been so great at the actual scripting. Yeah, the scripting is an interesting thing. Like, it's always the biggest point is getting your story down first, I think. It takes a very special sort of writer to be able to write every week or every month new without having had the completed story in the back of their mind and knowing what they're writing towards. And I sometimes feel like when it comes to certain stories, you can sort of feel as they progress when a writer is writing by the seat of their pants. And sometimes it can get a little bit just disjointed further down the line, as you have to kind of write yourself out of the plot holes as you are progressing. So I personally like having the idea of, okay, you've got the story down, it's written, and then you start drawing it. That makes sense to me. Just quickly continuing writing my thought down before I lose it. Makes sense. One of the stories I have a rough outline of. That sounds like there's continuation to that. Okay. I've written it down. So, to those of us, specifically Krahazik and Boots, you will see in our little hidden architect server my thought, and I would like your input on that in that server, please. Just so know if you are okay with that thought process, because it does affect you guys just a little bit. I immediately think of Akira Toriyama. Obviously, no writer is completely immune to plot holes, but he generally was able to give himself enough leeway to explain certain things later in order to give himself space to fly, partly by the seat of his pants that he did. Having trouble with the in-betweens and episode page scripts. Ah, I see. Yeah. Knowing when to refrain from trying to explain every little thing immediately. Yeah, that's one of the things that can be really, really challenging if you are especially a new writer, is wanting to over-explain everything straight off the bat. That's a common pitfall that new writers tend to fall into. Sufficient world building can help with the seat of your pants writing, I think, basically having a grounded foundation. Yes. Like, if you know how your world build works before you put pen to paper, or at least in rough strokes, what the rules of your world are, then within that, you can go ham. Some people say Goku being an alien was a retcon, but it really wasn't, because Toriyama never explained why he was a monkey-tailed boy in the first place. This is true. Like, everyone just sort of assumed that it was, well, I suppose the Sun Wukong reference was intentional either which way, but everyone just assumed, okay, this is a Wukong ripoff character, or a Wukong reference character. The author of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has admitted to coming up with stuff on the fly and straight up forgetting stuff previously established, so sometimes characters' skills just unexplainably change. You know what? Fair. straight up forgetting is valid sometimes. That's where notes come in handy? Yep, they do indeed. But then again, in the case of JoJo and similar serialized stories as well, I can understand even forgetting to look at your notes, because the deadlines that you're fighting with in those serialized commercial environments is insane. The turnaround times, you've not really got much time between writing and drawing to check your consistency. So it's a big challenge. A lot of people assume way more was forgotten than actually was, though, regarding reading comprehension, alarmingly rare among manga readers. Indeed, indeed, indeed. They don't have time to write down notes to begin with. Yeah, I mean, you guys see how many panels I've got to churn out in a week, right? I mean, I'm a relatively fast drawer, and you guys see how long it takes me to do stuff. And that's and I'm relatively fast. I wouldn't say I'm the fastest, but I'm relatively fast. And even the stuff I'm doing is not necessarily always as detailed as what these guys are churning out. So it's like, And yes, people argue, sure, that they don't have teams. Not all of them. Not all of them have teams behind them, of assistants. And even then, the assistants are not necessarily doing your core work, in the sense that the likelihood of your assistants being able to do things like put down rough sketches out of your storyboard is like minimal. So unless you've got someone who is really good at style cloning, having an inking assistant as well is also tough to find. Skill sets that go down in comics when you've got a team environment are insane. A little bit. I made a short comic as well. It's about a dog getting caught eating a cookie. And since I drew it in grade 8 or 10, the drawing wasn't great, but it was funny. You know what? That's cool. You made a thing. You made a thing, and that's epic. And even if the art is maybe not up to what you would currently call your best quality, it's proof that you did it. It's something, exactly. A little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. Quite frankly. Okay, hitting the save button, so let's just hope that it doesn't freeze on me. Undo. Undo. I've never particularly written a story, but I've done TTRPG games. Oh, it fits my current skills better, I think, because I don't come up with the baseline of my character and it's easier for me to write them in the moment. And for that, leaving gaps worked well for me. I would decide my character as this or that quirk, mostly thinking of what's interesting or funny in the moment. Then later, if I saw an opportunity, I'd tie that into other things or give a deeper reason why the character is like that. And because the other players weren't privy to our thought process, sometimes it would seem like I'd planned it all along. Foreshadowing by a secret retcon. Yep. Oh, that is such a known thing. It's like, I saw a screenshot of Tumblr post a couple of years back, which still lives rent-free in my brain, that says something along the lines of readers in the comments section theory crafting and explaining why these things that the author foreshadowed, like in chapter 3, is now coming to fruition in chapter 300, and it's like, author, that is completely by accident, but I'm glad it works. Let's go with that. That's fun. It's fun when that happens. Okay, I want to check something real quick over here. Hold on. Is this of critical importance? I just see a little notification thing over here. I just want to check that it's not work. It looks like it's okay. Looks like it's okay. Okay. Right. And that's a hydrate, so everyone acquire your nearest safer consumption beverage and take a sip. Hobby is now lukewarm. Oh no. I've been wanting to redraw the comic, the dog comic, just to see how my art has improved, but I keep procrastinating. Well, you could, if you want to do the redraw, that has its value, but I think if you want to do, if you're feeling like that's actually going to be tying you down from doing your next comic, I'd say skip the redraw. It exists. You don't necessarily need to go back and edit it. you should, if you have another script that you would like to draw, you rather do what you want to do in terms of your creative process than force yourself to keep revising old work over and over and over and over, because then you're never going to get to the big things that you want to achieve later. Sometimes there comes a point where you need to stop editing your old stuff. And that's something that took me way too long to figure out. Just like it took me way too long to figure out that, hey, I am the sort of person that needs a completed script before I actually start drawing a thing. Just setting up my layers to make sure that my inks layers are all vector layers. Okay. And I just want to check one more other thing. Sorry, one second. Okay. That was one thing I just needed to check, and it is okay. It is okay. Cool. Cool. Nope. This layer. Bunch of these. Move you. Like that. That'll do the trick, that'll do the trick, okay. Okay. Move. Okay. I've put a little bit more thought into it since opening up the conversation just now, and I do think I actually really want to roll with the idea that I don't want to actually actively speak out on stream yet. But now I know what I'm at least going to put towards what I'm going to write for the comic project. I think I know that's what I want to do. I think. I'm struggling to come up with a good reason not to. But it means that I'm going to need to do some simplification to some designs on some things. Alright. Okay. You know what? That's par for the course. It's either going to be simplification or a significant amount of asset development. One of the two. There's no escaping that. Or, am I being dumb? Am I being dumb? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Oi. That works. My recent dreams had train stations in them, so I think I'll make a comic animation surrounded by train stations. That is definitely an interesting choice of setting. I hope that you do not have any issues finding background resources to make that easier for you. Considering that it is a modern setting, you ought to have a little bit more luck getting supporting assets for that. So, awesome. That can go so many ways, actually, that kind of a setting. Okay, that works. And save button. Time check. 3 hours into stream. Clear that. It's all going to be hand-drawn on paper in my tablet, plus I like drawing backgrounds, so I will use reference photos. Okay. If you know your process, then all is well. I wish you strength and perseverance for your comic arting. Wait. One of my comic concepts was intended to take place all inside a starship, and I was planning on 3D designing and modeling the ship and then use that for all the backgrounds. When you've got a single setting like that, but it's a complicated one, having a model is going to be so useful. Like, especially when it's something as bespoke a setting as a starship, where the generic sort of layouts are not necessarily going to make it feel like your starship. Like, everyone is going to know if you look at something like that and you see that all of the backgrounds are like a rip-off of the inside of the Millennium Falcon, for example. Then, yeah, then everyone knows. And they're going to wonder, low budget, low budget. I intended to let the artist cheat by not having to draw the backgrounds. In that case, it's not cheating. Honestly, in that case, it's not cheating. 3D is a very popular part of a modern comic artist workflow because it saves a lot of time and it's very versatile. To have all of the options for where everything in a room is, it saves so much in terms of time, brain power, having to decorate places and fill in details. It's actually a lifesaver having a background in 3D. That model is worth so much when it exists. Maintaining perspective. Oh my word, the importance of maintaining perspective. Oh my word, perspective and scale. Cannot underestimate the power of that. It is so useful. Okay. I am feeling comfy now that I know what I'm gonna do. I've had niggling feeling in the back of my mind regarding certain things in the comic and content the last couple of weeks, so I think the thought process that transpired in the last hour regarding comic has settled some questions in my heart. And I feel better about life, the universe, and everything now. Okay. Save. And that's the hydrate. So everyone acquire your nearest safer consumption beverage and take a sip. Tail end of the ice cold coffee. Okay, at this point in time, I think that it is time for a stretch. So, everyone, let us stretch a little bit. And then I am going to quickly have a quick break. Because I need to check on some things. Let me just do this. Okay. So we are now standing and locking hands above head and stretching up. Yike. I don't have any other resources except those. My brother does have a Photoshop in his iPad, but it's his iPad, and I don't want to possibly take all this storage of my things. That is fair, that is fair. Nafkuchan Mops, hello, hello, very late good evening from Germany. I just wanted to say thank you again for the follow alert. I love it, yay! I'll order again very soon. Oh, thank you so much. And have a good stretch, I guess. Thank you so much, and thank you again for your commission. I really appreciate it. It was fun to work on, nice and quick, a good little aside from the long project that I'm currently working on. And greetings to Germany, enjoy summertime. I believe you are leaning into that rather nicely. And yes, it is indeed very, very late in Germany. I believe it should be like midnight by you. So I appreciate you dropping in so late tonight. And yes, thank you. So everyone, since we are all stretching now, because eek, I believe I'm not the only one who's been sitting for the last 3 hours. Let us just get some blood flowing. So hands interlocked above the head, leaning to the right. I really appreciate that you did all my commission so fast. Thank you again, that was really kind. Nice. No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure now. I am very, very pleased to be able to have had the opportunity to work on it, and that I could do such a quick turnaround this time was a nice little boon. So I am glad if it will serve you relatively soon. I believe you are still working towards your debut, so I'm looking forward to that, and I hope that you have a very, very successful one. Alright, so we're still having our hands interlocked above our heads. We're just leaning sideways to just get some extension on our rib cages. I believe the muscles are called the obliques over there. So let's just get those opened. There we go. And legs a little bit more than shoulder width apart. Alright. Let's go hands locked behind us and lean forward. Things with a 90-degree bow and pull our arms up as high as we can go. There we go. Now I need to make sure that I don't accidentally bump my head into my keyboard. I literally can't get my hands to lock above my head without dislocating something. Boots. Mobility. Mobility, mobility, mobility. It is imperative to longevity of any description. I don't care what you say. If you can't move, you are in deep, deep trouble. So, mobility is key. If you can't raise your arms above your head, so literally grab your hands in front of you and then just pull them up so that they're above your head, then that is really bad in terms of your shoulder mobility, and you need to definitely work on that unless you've got an injury that's preventing that from being possible or other such similarly condition. I can still walk to the fridge and back. Boots. I reiterate, I am very concerned for your health. That's a good idea, by the way, stretching on stream, especially if you're sitting a long time into the day. Yeah. Like, my average stream duration is about between 5 and 7 hours is my usual stream duration. So, I'm trying to get to the point where I remember to do it every single day, but I still don't, to take like a halfway mark break now at this time of day. Harriet, can you touch your toes? Let's check. I can't do it without bending my knees because my hamstrings are too short. But we can work on that. What was the little hack regarding that? Elephant walks, was it? Okay, so what you do, to think I used to do gymnastics. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay, so to work on hamstrings so that we can actually touch our toes, what we're going to do is we're going to stand, knees shoulder width apart, lock our knees, and then what we're going to do is we're going to keep our hips facing forward and just kind of knock one side knee forward, alright, so that one is still locked and the other is forward, and we're just going to alternate between which hip or which knee is forward and which one is backwards. We're just going to alternate like that a couple of times. There we go. There we go. There we go. Do this a couple of times. Feels a little bit weird to be doing this. One day is one day when I have a 3D model and some sort of tracking that will work with this. When we do our in-stream stretching, you'll actually be able to see the stretching live, and I'm looking forward to that. Because then you'll actually be able to see what I'm doing, and I won't have to narrate it and try to give a proper description of exactly what I'm doing. Because visually, that would be immensely helpful. So I am now done with the elephant walk, which is the knee wobble thing. So now we try and reach down again, and yes, I can now get closer to touching my toes with my knee spot than I did a little while ago. I'm still about an inch away. Oh no. That was a lie, I'm correct. Because why? My projective is non-existent, and I can't really see it. Looks like about 2 inches away. Ugh. Bleh. Oh no. We'll get there. I want to be able to touch my toes. Having shortened hamstrings is not fun. I want to be able to move. So the next thing that we're going to do to also increase leg mobility a little bit is we're going to stand with broad stance again. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a deep sideways lunge. I think that's what we're going to do. So going to the left or port side, what we're going to do is we're going to just bend that side leg as far down as we can. I can not have my chair in the way. There we go. Hold it Try not to move the right foot. And up! And other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My current workspace is too small for this. And left. 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just going between these two is not only a stretch, but it's actually a workout. 4, 5. Last one, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to find my chair again. I will fall on the floor, and that will be the end of it. 3, 4, 5, and up. Okay. We are there. Last thing, return to the broad stance, and we're just going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand sideways, and rotate so that my upper half is looking backwards while my lower half is looking forwards. Okay. I'm going to start by going starboard to just twist around. Like that, and get some lower back rotation. Basically trying to get my upper and lower halves in opposite directions, which is good for strengthening lower back and stretching out the front of the leg while you're at it. Okay, other side. Hold. 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 And left side again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm done with that for now. I'm getting exhausted just by hearing you doing sports. Oh dear. Joy. Well, I'm done with that for now. So, I'm just very, very quickly going to go and make a turn past the restroom and come right back. And then we shall continue inking frames. We are on the 3rd frame. That made me find a new and exciting way to crack my back. Snapping ourselves in two and enjoying it. Oh dear. Alright, so I'm just gonna be right back. Please enjoy the time lapses in the meantime. And I shall see you guys momentarily. Alright, we are back, we are back, we are back. Let me just get my microphone back where it belongs. Okay, and camera back down here. Alright, is that functional? Yes it is. Okay, cool. Oh, I forgot I had cheese curls. Forgot my mom brought me cheese curls. Oh, yay, okay. I need to remember to actually have those before they turn into plastic. I keep forgetting to snack whenever I've got snacks, which is why they're usually wasted on me. I completely forgot about them. I'm sorry. I never have enough snacks. Like, I really enjoy cheese curls though. So it's like, if I forget about them, I get sad. Like, cheese curls and cookies, they are the snack of choice. If I am to snack. Or salt and vinegar crisps, because those are the ultimate crisp. I had a whole tub of ice cream today. It was not enough. Oh my word. I'm snacking on salt and vinegar right now. Ah! Nice. Nice, nice. Okay, second attempt at a plush charm is looking less cursed, but I forgot to add the spot to attach a carabiner. No! At least it's less cursed. Alright. Eek. Oh yeah, I don't know if any of you guys might have saw my social media post just before stream over on Twitter and Blue Sky. But yeah, I have an idea to try something new next week, which I posted about simply to stop myself from chickening out, because otherwise I will chicken out. And that's something new being trying out Lupa Chat, which I hope I pronounced it properly, but it's highly likely that I did not, in fact. which is basically a collab type thing, a collaborative platform type thing. Specifically for VTubers to get to know one another. And I've been aware of it for a really long time. I've just not had the guts to actually try it, and I want to dare myself to interact with people. So yeah, lobotomy it is. I'll stab a jump right through the dittos for it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Poor ditto. I have tried it once. Yes. What did you think of it? What's cheese curls? Cheese curls are a cheesy puff chip type thing in my country. Scary? I suppose when you are interacting with brand new people for the first time, it is like that. It is 100% like that. So I can understand it can be really, really daunting to interact with completely new people like that. Which is one of the reasons why I need to put it on record that I'm gonna try it so that I don't chicken out, because I would chicken out as well. So I'm giving myself accountability and time to prepare myself mentally for talking with random people. And hopefully it won't end in disaster. Because personal anxiety is probably the biggest challenge when using something like that. Okay, it's not probably, it definitely is the biggest challenge when using something like group chat. But on the contrasting side of the same argument regarding the platform, one of my biggest hesitations when it comes to talking with people is not having the mandate to do so. But then again, it is one of those places where it's a platform where people are there specifically to talk with people. So, it's kind of giving you the mandate in a way. So I don't know, hopefully that will open some doors. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to try it offline first and then do a live attempt, or if I'm going to go straight into a live and then hope that I don't do something stupid. But yeah. What I found was having something to talk about and brain just going blank. Yeah. Having conversation starters is kind of the biggest challenge when you're dealing with new people. It's like, okay, what random question can I ask to get this thing going? And then hopefully we can bounce something off of there. Like, a long while ago, I did a thing where I needed to have a couple of conversation starters open, so I literally went and looked on the internet for questions that one can use to start conversations with. I Still got that bookmark somewhere, I think. I should. I ought to. Anyway. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be returning to that list of questions to see if I can come up with a couple that maybe it'll help spring a conversation off. But yeah, the brain going blank is definitely one of the scariest things that can happen when you're talking to new people. Like, even with my existing friends, it's one of my biggest issues is that, okay, we've established that everyone is alive, now what? As is the famous topics of conversation in my fair lady, that are usually the weather and your health. The weather is a little bit of a touch and go one when it comes to VTubing, because you can use the weather to whittle down where a person is. So maybe just your health. Similar to cheesies, cheese puffs, or Cheetos? Something like that. Something like that. That probably closer to what I assume a cheese puff is. I am not familiar with those. Cheetos, I think, are milk corn? Yeah. These things look a little bit like, packaging noodles that you get in boxes when you're shipping things. Like, 2-inch long packaging noodles. Made out of cheese. Or something that approximates cheese. Flavored. Puff stuff. I do not actually know what cheese curls are made out of. I actually find it easier to talk in Discord groups and stream chats. I don't actually know where I find it easier to talk to people. At the moment. I don't have enough data to comment. I should probably remember the pocket. Oh, I know those, yeah. Of course, in those situations, I'm not the conversation starter and can be reactory. Like, being the conversation starter is the skill to learn. And I think for us in VTubing, it is actually a really good training ground. Or a platform like that is a really good training ground, because when it comes to actually yapping on stream, sometimes, like, I know myself, I have a tendency to, if I'm focused on something, I kind of forget to talk, which is not ideal when you're a streamer whose primary job is being an entertainer. Then having this conversational mindset and being able to start things up is a very, very useful skill. And it is a skill that can be learnt and it can be trained. And that anxiety doesn't always go away, but it can be subdued somewhat. And I think that is very, very healthy and something to strive for a bit. Yeah, it's good. Social anxiety is something I struggle with a lot. Yeah. Understandable. I mean, even when you don't struggle with social anxiety, people are tricksy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's a hydrate for everyone. Acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverage and take a sip. And especially when we're doing something like being content creators, it can be a little bit of a make or break in terms of our ability to grow. Not necessarily all the way always in terms of audience count, but definitely in terms of what we are able to put on the table for our viewers. Having worked on developing that conversational skills really useful. I got the social anxiety too, but oddly once I'm on my third can of energy drink of choice I can kind of forget because my heart rate is 2000 BPM.